Okay.
Playing with poker chips, I'm sorry.
That's all I have to say about
Two. There are two great Indiana Jones movies.
I will fight you on that. 'Cause
Are we
high
changing?
five?
Are we
Should we high
changing?
five?
the original 3 are fantastic.
Temple of Doom is my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
It shows growth of character because he's a dick in that one, and it's a prequel. And
You are both attacking me.
he has the opportunity to leave those children. He has all 3 stones, but he makes the heroic choice to go back and get them.
Yeah, but it sucks. I mean, it's the argument that, like, you know, that's quote-unquote armor that, like, would stop you from getting killed. You know?
I need that armor now.
Yeah.
There's
Give me my power panties. Let's go.
Power panties. That's to be the game.
I like it when the kids come up to me and they go, "You're my favorite." I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Yeah, you're my favorite Spider-Man." and they run away. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm Spider-Man."
That's right.
Yeah, that's me.
my webs go bang.
Bang. My webs go bang. I'm not going to use that.
And then we went there and we saw some other previous attempts that someone had done with the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you can imagine a Scooby-Doo truck with a Scooby-Doo antenna with Professor X in a chair and a seeing eye dog going around town looking for mutants. That was the X-Men presentation that was there. We got rid of that. We said, no, we're not. No way in hell we're going to do that.
Thank you so much for everything.
So that's probably what would have happened if I hadn't been involved with that.
Right.
They could possibly, conceivably, have their own box of some kind. Like they call it a mother box.
Oh, shit.
You hire a guy whose face looks like the Green Goblin, and then you put him in an iron suit. It's bizarre. Shit. You know, no one wants to see the Sinister Six spinoff. They really don't. You know. You know what was Aunt May up to before she got old? No one cares. You know. So it's like.
Well, there's a soccer player who's like, my overnight success took 12 years.
Yeah. This overnight success. Yeah, that's right. Because I just woke up and that was it.
He's like, I've been practicing my ass off for like 10 hours a day for the past 10 years.
I'm going to point to this when I get successful, like your overnight success. Like, do you know how many fucking podcasts I had to do to
All
get
these
to this
schmucks. I mean, when I get my dog soon, am I going to make a separate Instagram account just for him?
Yeah.
Maybe, but...
You definitely should.
I don't have a jacket on or anything. I'm just in the costume, covered in the makeup.
And her face, she looks like a strung out crackhead.
Oh, yeah, and I've been doing, like, makeup as if I haven't been eating. And I'm filling up the car, and the guy on the other side of the island is staring me down. Just giving me this, like, look. And, of course, I've been living in Northampton for too long. Because my, like, feminist persona just totally got all cocked up. And I was like, what? And I started to do the, like, chest forward thing with the arms. And I was like, what's your fucking problem, dude? I'm just trying to fill up my car. This is wrong with you? You're going to step up, huh? And then I looked down. I caught, like, a corner of one of my Crocs out of the, like, left bit of my eye. And I could see the makeup on my feet. And then I realized it was all over my body. And I just looked at him and I went... Then I didn't even say anything. I just made this like little weird noise and immediately stopped gassing my car and just got back in and left. It was like I made it home and I gassed up again the next day.
Right.
And also, in all fairness, I am wearing a nurse's scrubs uniform too. So it looks like I might have just come from the least successful ER in the world. And I'm really mad about it.
Someone had a bad day.
So somewhere there's this guy who lives in Connecticut and has this story about like I went to gas my car up once and I almost got killed by this crazy fucking nurse.
Yeah, for the record, chat down product. Don't chat down original art.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That shit's worth value, you know?
It is worth value.
It's worth value, because that made
Such
sense.
value.
Alex,
Much value.
you're fired.
Such value.
Oh my god, Sophia Pony glitters.
That was the best.
Sophia Pony, it was like this little girl and her mom, and she would do like commissions, and she'd put like sparkly gems glued on them and stuff, and we walked up at one point and we were like, are you taking commissions? And it's like she's kind of tuckered out, and she's like hiding behind the sign playing her DS, you know. It was adorable. don't get mics that attach to the table.
No, it's just these metal clamp mics right here.
I've never hit that with my leg or the springs. Or
But they look neat, right? It looks like we're a radio
I would
show.
tune out right now if I was like the only thing worse if we were just eating sandwiches right now.
I saw
two Buster Swords.
the most brilliant thing. I saw Harley with her Harley hammer. Her Harley hammer was also her storage for her stuff. The side of the hammer opened, and she had like her sweatshirt and her bag and her shit in it.
Huh.
And like she packs it up and then closes the Harley hammer again. Brilliant. Absolutely. I mean, if you put down the hammer and you forget it, but then again,
Rude, but
it's a big thing. A lot of people might be like, "Hey, your Harley hammer, don't forget that." But it was
I like
brilliant.
using stuff like that with the costume. Like when I had my Robin costume, I actually built
And you
a
pulled your
functioning.
phone out of your ass.
Yeah, you gotta have a real utility belt. Gotta have pockets.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World DVD, and I hate that movie. I hate that movie like I hate Inception. Yeah, you can take your headphones off and
Jared's
leave.
leaving. He's
It's fine. And I was like, it's cool. We can watch the movie.
Did I say Chris Rousseau? Anyways,
I think you said Craig.
Craig. I said Craig. Shut up.
Back out.
Was very good about it because I'd always say, oh, great wizard, I can read about stuff that happened last month in comics.
Oh boy.
We get to the car and it starts storming, like thunder, lightning. The car's shaking from the wind. I think our trip is over and we're probably gonna have to head home. This is at like 5:30. Convention closes at 7. Artist Alley closes at 8. I'm thinking it's done. It seemed that way, and like it just felt like the storm was getting harder and stuff like that.
Meanwhile, Optimist Alex doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm like taking my badge off and put it on the dashboard. Alex is getting his poncho. Like he's prepping for war.
As you guys know, they made Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are no longer mutants in the comics. So they're almost changing these characters enough where when you go see them in the movie, it doesn't matter. They're not the comic book character anymore.
Jared just gave me a question face when you said that, and I rolled my eyes.
It was a mega eye roll. It was just like, don't even ask.
But there's a scene recounting how bad Archie is at different jobs. And one of the little panels, which is a throwaway panel, which is so funny to me, he's at an ice cream parlor, and the ice cream, like the Baskin Robbins, like little place where the tubs of ice cream where you scoop it out, it's on fire. The owner is just he has his hands on his head and he's just like, how is this happening?
How do you feel about Ben Urich?
At first, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Loved him at the end.
Okay.
That's pretty much my relationship with the whole show. Okay, so you don't like that fact that he has a computer, but he can go around fighting crime and beating the shit out of people.
He can't see a computer screen.
He also can't see the dudes he's punching.
Maybe it's. I'm sure there's.
You can echolocation objects in front of you, but a window and a computer screen and a flat surface and a wall, you can't see a painting on a wall.
Because he could like feel letters on stuff, but when it's a screen, it's just flat.
He shouldn't be able to encounter that. Is he gonna look at pictures on there?
He had his little device thing.
I don't remember this computer, and I think you're lying.
He did throw it when Kingpin was like,
"He's fixing this."
That's another thing. Who did he tell? Oh, hey, by the way, my name's Wilson Fisk. I want to have a press conference that for some reason is going to be broadcast throughout the whole city.
He's filthy rich. I mean,
if you Google me, you'll find nothing. But just trust me on this one.
3 years ago now at PAX East, my brother and I entered in the costume contest there, Sector and Cyrax from Mortal Kombat. And
respect.
The suits, they're made of recycled riot gear and BMX armor. And,
wait, they're not metal like real robots? I mean, do you even like put any effort into this?
Yeah, I actually have a rocket in the chest and it fires out with a cord,
And my soul was taken out of my human body and put into the robot one.
I had to change my name away from ketchup and mustard. So
yeah, I mean, I carry around ketchup packets with me.
When Donkey Kong fights Peach, we actually had 3 different stuntmen playing Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And whoever had to wear that gorilla costume the last was It was really unfortunate because it really smelled and it was really hot.
I'm proud of my yellow volunteer shirt.
Did you throw
No,
it?
it's orange, but whatever. I kept it.
A rare Alex F-bomb.
So at some point in the book series that you read, in the comics, they introduce more Robins. Because I think one Robin says he's not going to be Robin anymore.
Mhm.
And
then he's like Nighthawk,
Nightwing.
Nightwing, Nighthawk, doesn't matter.
And
then he has like a blue
it really
costume.
matters, kiddo. It really matters.
I know, but it's like
I need you to understand this.
the name in there doesn't matter because he's like, I don't like being Nightwing. Nobody listens to me.
No one listened to his Nightwing?
Yeah.
Oh, did they still call him Robin anyway?
Yeah, they still called him Robin, and then he got all upset.
Hey, you're taking honkies and tonks out of that guy's mouth because he has to make those.
I wouldn't normally walk around the mall and tell people I'm going to cut off their face and put it in my book face. My face of books. And this...
See, I don't think that's true, Alex. I've known you for far too long, so that you would do that.
They were like, we're going to have a crossover. So people who want, are you still watching the episode right now?
Yes.
She's gone.
It's funny.
We got 10 minutes out of her.
Let's go. Here, turn it off for a sec. Save your pet. Don't play it. Turn it off. How do you...
I'm just going to film you guys interacting.
Put it back to sleep so you don't lose battery. All right, kiddo. Thank you. Okay.
15%.
When flipping through some of Alex's books, dealt with the
Alex's
girl...
books?
Yeah. Oh, well, like, it's your books that Alex owns.
Bring your arsenic all of my books.
Doug's books that Alex has purchased.
Jerk, you bring me on here. You drag me on your pond. You don't even own any? 50% you own my books?
I own enough for two of us, to be honest.
You Lord, you son of a... Yeah, you're good, Alex.
You got my money on the Kickstarter. I was gonna say big props to dude wearing Shia LaBeouf face. He stole the show for me, going up and down the escalators in like the squat pose. It was just the best.
You know what was the big deal about him? He made his dreams come true.
He did. He didn't
He
let his
did
dreams be dreamed. To him, nothing was impossible.
He's on Instagram.
He
Like there's
just
clips of him.
Did it.
Prince William and Kate Middleton fucking Garfield.
Well, I'm sure that pissed them off.
The prince?
Yeah, like if they
if
grew up with Garfield being lovable.
I mean, if they made an objection, sure, that'd be something. that I'd want to see that court battle.
Right, and Did
you see what he wrote about me in Garfield? The cat likes lasagna. Okay.
How he's eating my asshole. I went Australian there.
How can you have sex with a cat that hates Mondays?
I love Mondays.
You guys just keep
so
going.
mean to Odie.
And like even the Queen weighs in like, this is smut. I do like this.
But that John, he's sexy.
This should be banned, and I want a copy of the RoboCop and Batman. Send me 10 copies.
In that moment, I didn't know if we'd hired a real psychopath. You don't know this thing about someone new.
It is someone that I brought on, as Kyle said, and I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Well,
who are these people? I never heard, because like Layman's been in the business. He would been around. He wrote like Tech Jansen and he wrote one of the Marvel Zombies, and he was an editor for years. He was the editor on Planetary. We've discussed this.
Have we? I don't remember any of that.
Unless it's a different John Layman. When we get him on, I'm going to ask him about it. By the way, John, if you're listening, respond to my email.
They're like, lie here on a bed, but don't move because we need to work on this. So hold really.
I would have done the exact same thing, honestly.
And like that's when she was swaddled up in her layers and everything.
Immediately what flashed through my mind was what convention and or job and or friend do I know this person from?
Right.
I know his face. And then it came to me all of a sudden. It was like word vomit just came out of my mouth, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's from Super Art Fight!" It was Baron von Sexyful from Super Art Fight.
We've had on the show.
You've had him on the show?
Yeah, I've had him on the show.
That's so cool.
Not in person, but he's Skyped in from home.
Him and
that,
Brandon.
That counts.
The ref, yeah.
That's so cool.
And Fierce is like, it's not his blood.
And I was like, And I don't know about you guys, but I would rather leave the blood on than wipe it off with mother's milk. That's all I'm saying. Like, he's like, it's mother's milk. Well, you've been driving through the desert in that truck. What, you got a coolant? That stuff's going to be curdled. It's disgusting.
It's going to be cheese.
I'd rather wipe it off with sand than wipe that milk.
You're ruining this movie for me.
That was so gross.
If anyone knows anything about me, they know that I have a deep and abiding passion, a love, kind of the guiding thing in my entire life is trying to sell tickets. I really, really, really work hard to sell tickets.
Is that more of like, is it an urge to teach or an urge to say, like, look at how much work I put into this, you guys? Like, I did really good at this. I want you to see.
My shit's the best. Here's why.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's mostly it. Look how awesome I am. Well, no, there was some, I think it was a jeweler or something. Their commercial was an educated consumer is our best customer. It doesn't hurt to point out what makes a good story, especially if you're good at making a good story. So, part of it's to teach, but even when I'm teaching, I'm trying to say how great I am.
Chuck will, like, he'll look around and pick somebody. And he's like, you're, and I don't know what he's saying up there, but, and so, like, they all go into a certain part of the song, and now the person he pointed to is doing a brief solo piece.
Yeah.
And they're just rocking out doing solo, and then someone else solo part. It's like, I've seen it happen like a couple times now, so I got to ask him, I was like, Chuck, are you like live quarterbacking up there when you guys are playing? As you're playing, are you calling out like who's going next? He's like, yeah, totally. I was like, that's not worked out like ahead of time, like you don't rehearse that. And he's like, nope, everyone has to be ready to go. Of DHB, Dark Horse Presents, coming out this month, and it's got a story of yours in it. Would you like to say more about that?
Not really.
Next topic.
Really good at the promotion.
What's the deal with Goat Simulator?
All right. Come on.
I'm browsing Corey's videos and I see Corey plays Goat MMO Simulator and hates it. And like,
it's not a game.
I don't have audio because my soundboard's plugged into my computer, but like your face is just rage face the entire time.
It is the worst game ever. Oh my god.
Oh, but you're a goat and it like does weird stuff though, right?
I was on in September. Thanks for having me back. 175. Congratulations on that.
Hey, thanks. I think that's like the second time a guest has congratulated our numbers.
I think the first time was Tom. They caught Sabretooth, but he escaped and he was like wreaking havoc. And I remember Wolverine called him an egg-sucking piece of gutter trash, and I thought it was the greatest insult in the history of insults. And then like,
that's what we could get away with on Saturday morning,
It's so good. Bugs Bunny doing Gossamer's hair is one of like my childhood classic memories. Yeah. When he says "Bobby pins, please," like it always "Bobby pins, please," and like Gossamer just hands him one. He's supposed to be like terrorizing Bugs.
He's like, "Oh, this seems legit."
The Dracula actually turns into a bat.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. Like, my name is Count Blood Counts, and it's like abracapocus.
Do you guys ever like have a plan to rescue each other at conventions? Is there sometimes?
Do you have a safe word?
Like, hey, these guys have been at my table for 45 minutes. Could you like pretend to call my cell phone so I can try to step away from this?
It really goes for some vanilla pudding. That's the word. Get out.
I think actually when I see that happening to Craig, I just smile at him.
I just laugh.
Yeah. Savage.
Get up and walk away.
Yeah. As friendly as we are, as nice as we are to each other, as much as we like each other, we pick on each other way more than we say nice things. So often, if you hang out long enough around both of us, you'll notice Craig kind of lean over and go, "Oh, that's really too bad you drew it like that."
Yikes!
Wow, that's a choice.
Did you mean for that to look like that?
Right,
Really?
exactly. And
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
on
Most of the time
purpose.
he's right.
You guys are brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I want to like wash my hands.
When we make plans, can we actually like go out and do something rather than watch Star Wars?
Is this the same guy that made you hate Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, actually, the same
up.
exact guy. I'm not even.
Same
I'm not
reasoning.
Even
I
hated
can't. I don't even
Evil
want to
Dead.
hear the story. I'll just want to punch him.
I've been to conventions with a wide variety of people at this point. The first person who brought me to a convention was Bill, and he's wicked into cosplaying and socializing and talking to other people. And then my friends, who I go with,
What? You have other friends?
they're really into like panels and going and like, yeah, I want to give my opinion on that. Like talking to the panelists about everything. Alex is probably the most intense person I've ever been to a convention with, because he is all about getting to that auction.
Yep.
He's about going back to that booth to pick up that thing, or he needs to get his ticket to get in line for that thing that's a special edition and you can only get it here. Like, I'm one of 50. I have one of 50. You're buying one for me, and I'm buying one for me.
You pretty much nailed it. That's the best example of me that I've ever heard.
12 and 15.
That's not really a joke.
Alex has missions when he goes to conventions. Like we all poke fun at him, but like in the past we have, because it's just like we'll be at New York Comic Con for 20 minutes and we'll find him again and he'll have 2 handfuls full of bags.
The first time I went to Comic Con with you guys, like we walked in. Oh, Jeremy, you tried to prepare me. And you're like, oh, I mean, they got stuff to do.
New
I'm
York?
like, I was like, we're gonna hang out and like talk and hang out.
Oh, we literally ran.
Like, we walked in and like immediately Alex just is gone, and I'm like, oh, and I would see him sporadically throughout the weekend. I'd be like, hey, I found Alex. That means we're gonna. Oh, he's gone again. Every time he's got so much to do.
And then you see all these other people dying, all these other Avengers, and you see all these people dying left and right. Captain America gets shot.
Hawkeye gets exploded.
Hawkeye gets blown up.
And then
apparently,
he
I didn't
dies
know that.
again somehow.
And then everyone dies. Everyone dies, and then they all come back to life.
Everyone
but
else
Uncle
comes
Ben's always dead. Yeah, I'd say pick 2 people that you'd most want to see realistically show up in Daredevil.
I'm really looking forward to The Spot and Stiltman.
Stiltman? I'm kind of surprised.
I'm kidding. My answer is Bullseye.
You got me. Bastard.
I never wanted to eat a bundle of TNT and watch my belly blow up like a balloon.
I never thought of jumping off of a high dive board into a cup of water.
I never thought of opening an umbrella that I had stuck down my throat.
Flash and Arrow, and I was like, well, that's really cool because those 2 shows that I like.
And they're current. They're like happening right
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
one of the first cons I've been to where there were people that were like working a lot, so that was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Not 30 years
yeah.
ago. Yo, Fury Road though.
You know, guy, I don't know. I liked it better when it was called Doomsday.
This is the sound of me reaching across the table to strangle Mr. Squires. And then when he showed the studio the footage, they gave him more money to, punch up the chases.
Which, we can't really express how that doesn't happen. This is the kind of thing that's like, lightning bolt making ice cream appear in your hand for no reason. You know what I mean? That's like there's waking up to oral sex, and then there's having it be when you live alone. You know what I mean? That's how impossibly amazing that is.
If a studio gives you like more money and time to make a movie, that means like you fucked up so badly that they have no choice.
They've already
but
invested too much.
That almost always means that you screwed up a lot.
Post
September,
Boston, yeah.
I was on in September. Thanks for having me back. 175. Congratulations on that.
Hey, thanks. I think that's like the second time a guest has congratulated our numbers.
I think the first time was Tom.
He was in shock. If you've seen someone who's in shock, he was definitely that. And he was still like standing still enough to let people take pictures. But like his eyes were watering.
He was fading in and out of it.
Snot coming out of his nose.
Yeah. And he's telling like the stories about like last time
I did this, there was too much snot, and like they plugged the oxygen tube into his nose, and it wasn't working because there was just too much snot in the way.
My favorite line is that he goes to step up to show everybody, and then he automatically dodges. And goes, whoa! I almost stepped in a wet puddle. That would have been really bad. I don't want wet sock right now.
I don't want a soggy sock. That'd be so
good.
uncomfortable.
He has 1,400 needles in him. And he was worried about getting wet feet.
Yep.
So how can RoboCop have 50 Shades of Missionary?
You mean 50 Shades of Machinery?
With a shotgun?
I mean, he's literally gray.
A Superman analog. I think he had the mohawk.
Gladiator.
Hair. Yeah. And I was able to obviously make that Superman. I had some fun with it because I redrew all that entire battle scene from what was given to me. And that was a lot of fun because the script just had the characters, the X-Men on top of a rooftop, and you hear thunder, and then he lands. So I said, no, we got to build this guy up. So
all right, he's like flying through space, like flying into Earth.
Yeah, I did all. I created all that from I made all that stuff up. And
it was a point of view because like I think you see his fists as he's like
yes.
Oh, that was so cool. That was Larry. That was
bravo.
The thing, young Alex was watching that show, and I was like, "Who's this guy gonna try and fight the Juggernaut? He's gonna get his ass kicked." And like he throws Juggernaut into the ocean, and I'm like, "No!" I was like flipping out.
Yeah.
Well, every time you see a video of somebody getting hit in the nuts with a baseball bat, a mistake, by a little kid, you're laughing at that person's pain on purpose. So are you a bad person for laughing at those, laughing at anything on YouTube?
In that case, I don't care because it's funny.
Them being mad about potentially making jokes mean they can't make any jokes about like Rob Liefeld or Michael Bay.
Why would you make jokes about those artists?
Because they're
his name pretty much. Because then after that, there was Roman who asked me to draw
a Spartan
warrior.
Spartan.
Because she was collecting
awesome.
300.
Was my favorite commission that you did all weekend.
I really liked that one a lot. But then there was Paul.
But she plans on getting a complete 300 Spartans,
yes, which I thought was amazing.
Right,
Such a great idea.
Crap! I didn't know that.
yeah.
I'm happy about getting my 6 freaking Pokemon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a really fun one.
So I have a collection of like stuff that I get signed. I don't like getting just a piece of paper.
You collect things?
I collect it. I know it's weird. It's really crazy. Thanks for being here, Vicky.
Nasty Burns.
So much fun.
Who knew?
Nasty Burns Miller.
But like,
maybe that's what I should change my Cosmo page to.
It's such a shame because Jeff Loeb, I feel like he's so hit or miss, but his hits are just like legendary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like his.
So are his misses.
Well played.
That was really good.
It's like you can't just do it a little bit. It's like I'm going to do a real great job fucking up or good.
Believe it or not, with them being as loud as they are and high energy as they are, and with the people in the room, I laid down in the corner and fell asleep.
So much so that a little girl had to check up on me.
She came up to me and asked me if I was okay.
Oh, she actually talked to you? Okay.
I didn't see her. I just saw her walk away from you, and I thought like it was just a random person that tried to pickpocket you or something, and I didn't know what was going on.
It was super nice. Like
Awesome.
she came over. Like I happened to be awake at that point. She came because I was like laying like inside a plant.
Dude, like his head was like next to a pot.
I wanted to cram as far into the corner as I could, so I didn't want anyone to like trip on me or anything.
She kept looking back at you too, like it was like she just really wanted to just make sure you're okay.
She was just chilling on her phone or iPod.
It was adorable.
She came over, she's like, because she was sitting on the back wall, and she's like, "Excuse me, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just sleeping."
And she's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, I was super tired, and like the same thing happened at the first year at Professor Mark P. Donnelly's.
One of his talks about gangs of New York. Or,
it was on torture.
His torture.
No, was it? Torture or the gangs? I think it was the gangs.
No,
of New York.
it was gangs of New York.
It was the gangs in New York where
he was doing his panel on gangs of New York.
I had to elbow you because you were snoring.
That room, man.
Yeah.
Even during Frenchie the Punk, I was starting to get sleepy. Like that room just lulls me to sleep.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting that does you in every time.
It's super cold.
It has air conditioning when there's not 300 people in there.
It's dark. It's nice and chilly, and it's the perfect combination for putting me to sleep.
It's kind of getting me tired just thinking about it.
It is absolutely nothing against any of the performers. Like,
of course
if anything,
not.
they just ate it.
If you're a Deadpool fan and you are like, I'm sorry, because you're a big Liefeld fan, right? If you really cared about that character, you definitely don't want to see that film.
Yeah, Bob, you've been muted, so that's it.
So all these
you learned your lesson.
I saw you do it. It was like that. Son of a bitch.
Press thing, and we report on the show and we talk about it. We've chatted with Jeff Mock, and then like we're just kind of standing there watching Steam Power Draft. And then I see Micah and Blake like go up to the guy like at the side of the stage and like talk for a second, and then next thing I know they're like backstage and in front of the stage, and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. If I was to try and cave someone's skull, what would you go with? Like a medium-sized hammer, or like would you go with like the big, the really long handle?
Well, what you got to start with, just buy the cheapest model, like the one that's like $5.
And then try it out.
Well, no, the thing is, the $5 one, they're all over the place. Everyone gets a cheap $5 hammer. If you get like the really fancy like $30 one, it's pretty easy to trace back to.
Is this
Right.
is this where we're going with this?
Okay.
Is this legit?
Kyle, this is valuable information.
I need to
I'm
write this
interested.
down.
But we had like this mannequin body, and Jamie had a brilliant idea that she was going to build like the neck stump
Okay.
for the blood to come out. And what I never thought of was to make like a removable cup. So if you had to, you could just take it out, redo whatever you have to redo, and then you could
Right.
plug it back in again. It was my first realization that this girl is pretty brilliant.
No. Just a little twisted.
You probably have to be a combination of both. Okay, best movie. I mean, mine's pretty easy. Mine's actually.
I know what yours is going to be.
Do you?
I don't know what his.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah.
is it?
Fury Road.
You're a bitch. Really, super quick. Go back and watch the video of Stuart getting the attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is loving every second
Oh,
of
dude.
it.
Rick drops the microphone and he's just like sits back
He's
like
leaning
I'm
on
gonna
the rope.
enjoy this.
He's like, this is fantastic. Like he's not even like acting or anything. He's just like, that's what you get. I have an article that I'm going to be putting up with this episode about sex criminals, about just me gushing over how much I love that book.
Because it's double meaning, gushing about sex.
I'm going to edit that out. Just kidding.
You said it.
I know, I did. I'm gushing all over sex criminals.
I really want to do a gender bent X-Men.
Okay.
Have you
would
heard my name?
No.
I'll be Brogue. Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Gambitch.
Yikes.
I'll be your gambit.
Wow. Is one allowed to bring their Mark P. Donnelly cane?
I think one is advised to bring one's Donnelly cane wherever one goes.
Oh, that's so valid. That's so true.
It just looks like somebody stuck pubes to a mirror. It was great. But on him, it looked fantastic. But he was like flinging it around. It was like on a gelatin like base, and it was just like this jiggly set of pubes getting thrown around the trailer.
If you agree with us, disagree with us, what's up?
If you have a chance, check it out and play the version with the visual descriptions for those with vision impairment.
That exists?
Have you heard about that?
It was a recent thing they added on. Yeah.
So that people who can't see can watch the show, and I watched some of it, and it's really entertaining.
Huh.
Like it'll be like I watched the scene with the fight, the old boy style long take fight.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like a man walks down a tray in an empty hallway. He brings it to an empty door, and like they and then it does the sound of the show, and it's like Matt approaches. He looks ferocious. The rope from the last building is wrapped around his wrist. He enters. He presses his hand against the metal doorway. There's 4 men inside. Down the row, 4 men are playing poker in an adjoining room.
This sounds
And I was like,
awesome.
I want to put on a
It's so
blindfold and just
good.
listen to it.
Give it a shot. It's so good.
It's like an audiobook.
Incredible the way they do it, and I was like, this is almost even better than. Oh, it's really entertaining.
I like what they've been doing for people with different disabilities and everything, and people have handicaps. I don't know.
Crap. So like I go on and like in all my spare time I'm trying to memorize facts on these characters, and you know it helps. Like you do have like those guys that come up and they're like, oh, so you're the Black Canary. So what's your name? Because there's more than one Black Canary.
Right. Yep.
So I'm like, my name's Diana. Husband, Ollie, you know, he's running around shooting arrows and stuff. And they're like, oh, okay.
Just making sure you're not a fake geek girl.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're just a fake geek girl. I'm like, no, I got my facts, guys. Come on.
It doesn't matter what I am. I'm dressed up as a character, so respect it.
Oh, so that means you're Black Canary from Earth 2 and not Black Canary from Earth 1.
Oh my God. I just
Well
walk away at
played.
that point. At that point, I'm like, I shake your hand. I'm like, have a good day.
He's just wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop anything.
I was watching that in my living room, and as he's getting, because it kept flashing to that, like I was in my head, I was like, I hope this is a dream, and he's not getting this beat up because he's fucked. And like Steph could hear me from the next room, like, oh God! And she came, she's like, what are you doing? It's like, baby, I don't think Matt's gonna make it.
So do you think Robin's a bad leader? Is he a bad leader of the Titans? Does he get them in a shenanigans that Raven might be able to avoid?
Well, I think that's 50-50. I mean, sometimes they get out of it, but most of the time, either Robin, Cyborg, or Beast Boy get them into it. That's like the main troublemakers.
Beast Boy is definitely a troublemaker.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Judging from the farts.
Judging from the farts. Yes,
would
yes.
Raven make a better leader?
I think so.
I've seen the underpart of people's eyes stretch further than I ever thought imaginable. Like the bottom part of the eyelid, just pulling and like you could fit like pennies in there.
Of all things to put in their pennies.
Well, you never did that?
No. I don't know, my first instinct is candy.
That too, yeah.
Because they have in their mind what they think looks good, but I have done this long enough. I'm like, okay, you think pointing the gun directly at me is good, but there's this thing called foreshortening.
What's
and
that?
that looks terrible. It's
It's what you use for baking. No, sorry,
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Foreshortening bread.
Like a sign you could write on, hold up. Which there were Twitch memes everywhere. Like everyone was writing Twitch memes on the signs. It was like going to see Twitch chat in real life.
That's the most terrifying thing I have ever heard in my life.
It really is.
With one of the newer things that I've been noticing at different conventions like anime cons and other comic cons is the poolside cosplay.
Yeah.
That answers that question.
Go on.
I mean, I have faith in Eisenberg.
I'm a huge fan of Luther, though. Like he's
It's
really
true.
got to
true.
meet up to a
like,
lot.
I mean, it's
Luther's
hard to
cool.
match Kevin Spacey's Luther.
He was a good Luthor. The story might have been crap, but he was good at portraying Luthor.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystals.
Like, yeah, a little pent up.
That's the story. The story was crap, but his personality.
Alex, what do you think
he
about?
was a great Luthor.
What do you think about that Superman? Oh, sorry. Actually, we got to end. So. Matt Damon's here.
Sorry,
today.
Matt Damon. We're out of time. Who's your favorite Inhuman? Who's your favorite X-Men?
Or what's an Inhuman?
Let's have a seat. Do you have time for a cup of coffee?
Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Black Bolt?
Because he doesn't. Because he can't talk
Isn't
unless
his
he kills
name
people.
literally like Blackagar Boltagon
Yeah,
or something?
it's horrible.
Yeah, that's his
so dumb. Anyway.
It was
put
like
a penis in his hand. That'll be great.
It was like I think like $300 instead of $1,000. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I get requests like that a lot.
Draw a big old dick.
I will tell a story about that in a second. But, give me a minute.
What have we done?
So this guy was like, do whatever you want to these cards, and I'm like, the George Walter Vincent Smith Museum, which
it's a lot of names.
Is that two people or just one
nope,
guy?
that is one gentleman.
That is one gentleman.
And he had a huge collection. A lot of people think that's his house. He actually built that building to house his stuff. He's like, I have stuff from China and Japan, and I have plaster cast sculptures of things, and it's
Alex in 50 years.
I was gonna say that sounds awesome. I want to do that now. Where do I put all my original comic art? I'll
And
just
he
build a
would
new house.
spend his weekends just like he'd open it up and he'd give people tours.
Third appearance on the show.
Number 3.
Racking them up.
Where do I stand now?
If
Only like
when-
92 more to catch Brett.
When
Oh, shit.
Actually, yeah, pretty much. He is in the 30s.
Are you serious?
I think so.
Brett's in the 30s.
I think he's in the 30s. But enough about guys. who
Enough
aren't-
about Brett Kelly's story of my life.
Deep. This was not a winter storm. This was an honest to goodness New Jersey blizzard. We were physically snowed into the building after about 11 o'clock. We had to force the doors open. And when I say force, I mean we had to have several people run at the doors. The attendees had left at that point. To force the doors open because of snow drifts. It was an actual blizzard.
Wow.
Which was a great metaphor for the rest of my life in the event world, I will tell you.
The last 2 issues of Secret Wars hasn't come out, even though it was supposed to end in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're months behind.
Oh, God. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Because it's on AMC, and AMC delivers.
I can't wait for Tulip to sit there.
Hey.
Wow.
Say no spoilers.
What, in the trailer?
No spoilers in the comic that's been out for 20 years. Chris, Alex hasn't read
You
Old
never-
Man Logan.
You never read the original one?
Yep.
I'm missing like 2 issues. I'll get them eventually. So
Hey, maybe you should hunker down and read The Watchmen, too. No.
Was there ever an episode or a script that you just weren't 100% into?
Oh yeah, always. There's always there's always one of those scripts that come through. It's like, oh man.
I'm gonna say a name, and I just want like a yes or a no.
Okay.
Mojo.
Oh jeez, that's a headache.
The games I want to stay the hell away from are like Happy Wheels.
Happy Wheels.
Yeah, I want to stay the hell away from that.
I don't know what I'm gonna Google this.
It's stupid.
With Robin, I mean, Damien, I hate that little bastard. I was glad he died. Why did they bring him back?
Spoilers.
I was like, what the hell? Keep him dead, damn it. When they killed Jason Todd, I voted twice to kill that bastard. I want you to know that. I spent $1 to keep that motherfucker dead, and they brought him back to life. That really pissed me off.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm playing Happy Wheels right now.
Oh, no.
You're playing?
A triumphant fucking Iceman, like, I'm a gay! Oh, here's our Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a 30-episode review.
What we need is way more Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, we need more Five Nights at Freddy's.
We don't have enough of Five Nights at Freddy's.
He wasn't a professional, but he had like a really nice grade camera, and he started getting really creepy. And
He was a GWC.
Guy with camera.
Guy with camera. Yeah, it was a great camera.
He's not a photographer.
Well, he
He's a
very
GWC.
specifically asked me to move my skirt so he could see my feet. It was. And then he got.
Well, you guys think that's weird?
I walk over and put the mic down.
Yeah.
I turn back around, and they're both busted wide open, bleeding on everything. Bleeding on everything. The floors, the chairs, the security deposit, everything is bled on. A child was bled on, and the mom's trying to be like, no, it's fake blood. Like, all right, until you go to wash that.
Fake blood always has this weird coppery smell
Those
to
dudes
it.
bled.
You know, they make great videos.
Well, we've all got our talents. Like, those
Yeah.
guys are really good at sweeping chimneys, being magical nannies.
I will say that even when they had to shut the show down, because obviously there were a lot of steam drunks out, like there's a steampunk who has been drinking for those in the layman, but it was great. Like it was everybody
Broke Alex on that one.
Yeah, sorry.
So my comic of 2015 goes to Morning Glories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a new character. I can really invest myself, and they're dead.
And they're dead.
There's so much stabbing.
I really look forward to investing myself with this character.
It's a book that catches you off guard. Like, I've read the first 3 trades, and like I remember messaging. Well, because I texted you about it. I was like, "Yo, what was up with this? It didn't really make much sense." And you're like, "Not much will."
It's like some of the guys from Super Art Fighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When they have their Unleashed show, it's like no recording of any kind.
Like, at all, and they get they get serious too. At
Oh
Kineticon,
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
found that out.
I had a harsh reality check with them too.
What was that?
It was like we were just finishing up, like taking a picture with Nicole,
Mhm.
and I think it was Mike. He was like, "Hey, can we get some footage?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just let me put my camera." You weren't talking to me.
Mike starts talking to me when we're gonna he's gonna do like the quick 3-second
you
video
were
thing
Mandarin.
with me with my as Mandarin, and he goes, "Okay, so we do like a really quick video thing," and I go, "I know what you do." He was like, "Gotta explain it to me."
He stopped right there.
I met you and you were so and so. Now you're this person, or you're like me and you're just a one-trick Tony, and that's how it works.
Oh man, that's good. I couldn't remember if you've been to my place or not. I remember we played poker, then you yelled at me for the Lashif thing. So
yeah, you never. I
don't have
never
any
follow
chips. I don't
through
have any
with the
chips.
practicing on that.
Wow, I've done 156 straight episodes of a fucking podcast.
The intro and the first 15 minutes of the show, it's all me. All of the stuff with Pipe Donor getting inside him, I storyboarded all that.
So you just got a jaw drop from Alex. His jaw literally dropped.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I didn't ramble too much.
It was the perfect amount of rambling.
Excellent.
Hearing inside stories about my favorite book and meeting people that work on it is pretty much the coolest thing I've ever done.
people want to make their decks fancy. They're like, I have
Right.
these things in their mind, and there are people who are purists and don't want them touched, and they're like, triple foiled, triple sleeve them or whatever. And on the other end,
What kind
you
of
get people who are
loser
like-
would do that? What kind of loser would put 4 comic boards in one comic book?
Exactly.
One of my favorite things to do is go find somebody incredible, run back to the table, and then have Alex go, "Oh yeah, I met them 2 years ago. They are really cool."
I have 6 sketches from them. This is my audition for the next.
Yeah,
The next,
and for this next take,
dead henchman.
Can you give it a little bit more? I don't know.
What's my motivation?
not Sucky.
A little bit more good. We'll get back.
I'd like to give you this role, but once at this point in time with your performance, I think it's going to need to go down to oral.
Wow.
I just need you to find it within yourself to not make me fucking puke.
Are all things
that's
that
interesting. That's interesting. Like what you gave us. Are you going to try this again? Are you gonna? Is this something you're pursuing, or are you just here for ruining my time? Or?
Oh, okay. You're a tourist. That's what you're doing. You're wasting my time.
At this point, I think maybe you just stepped in the wrong door.
That's a very interesting interpretation to lessen my time on this earth.
Your performance was interesting, but I think the library was down by the quad.
Please, I doused myself in gasoline. Here's a lighter. Finish what you started.
Hey, at this point, it'd be great if you could just end the pain. That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
So did
Alex,
I get
you're
it?
like pushing yourself away from the table here. I've not seen you this shade of red before. I don't even know what the hell we were riffing on, but we couldn't stop.
When do I show up?
No, you're not kidding. He's crying.
When's dress rehearsal?
Okay.
But a lot of the voice actors at that time could have played a live action version of the X-Men at the time. The actor who did Scott Summers looks like the guy that they eventually got.
Huh.
The lady Jean, Rogue, and the Beast. The guy actor who played the Beast. I mean, he was like this guy came in his giant Harley, looked big, burly, looked like a Hell's Angel type guy. And he would get in front of the mic and talk like this intelligent professor. It was like very weird.
And then recite
So good.
Shakespeare or something.
Yes.
Guys, thanks so much for trekking to Boston for us.
You didn't ask me what's up next for me.
Colin, I'll ask.
Is there a plan?
I want to ask.
That was the idea. Alex was going to ask.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Colin, what's up next for you?
Nothing.
You're fired.
Wait, no.
If you watch Batman and Robin with the expectation that it is a parody, it's actually pretty good. If you go into it not thinking you're watching a Batman movie, if you go into it thinking you're watching a Batman parody, then it all fits together.
I'm going to hack up this episode and make it say, Batman and Robin is pretty good.
And like the first joke, they're laughing, and I'm just like, oh god, this crowd is so stupid. They have no idea. They have no idea that this joke is no good. Like
Batman and Robin, it's actually pretty good.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother episode altogether.
Yeah, that's a whole new episode.
Opinions may vary.
What's her name? Sorry, you just mentioned.
Liara?
Yeah.
Sassoni? Yeah.
Was there an evil clone?
An evil clone of
Who's
her?
not sorry?
Just shut up.
She's not. She's sorry.
Can I kick you?
She's not sorry.
I'm so close to muting your mic right now.
Thanks for having me on, guys, and congratulations on 200 podcasts.
Hey, thanks. It's exhausting. It's late. Most
God.
people have probably shut this off already.
I gave money to the wrong guy. Like, I should have given my money to Rabbi Feld. I gave it to the wrong douchebag. Like, I should have given my money to the wrong guy. Like, I should have given my money to Rabbi Feld.
to the wrong guy.
I should have given my money to Rabbi Feld.
I should have
gave money to the wrong guy. I should have given my money to Rabbi.
Yeah, I can all yeah. Rabbi Feld.